These are the ingredients you're going to need for tonight's supper. We're going to do, it's a steak night tonight. We're going to do steak garni. So for our steak garni tonight, we are going to need, again guys, this will be for four people. So 8 flat mushrooms or portobello mushrooms, 4 number tomatoes on the vine. Don't have to be on the vine, you can use plum tomatoes if you like. About 500 grams of baby leaf spinach. Here we have, we're going to use Bavette tonight as our steak. So for the Bavette, we're going to use some Bavette, some matured aged Bavette, about 21 to 28 days. We're also going to use some garlic, some thyme, some butter and some olive oil. Sorry, just forgot the oregano. The oregano we're going to use for the roasted tomatoes and mushrooms, and then we're gonna saute the spinach. Hi guys, welcome back for tonight's installment. Tonight we're cooking steak. Steak night tonight. I know it's only Tuesday, but I've been eating quite a lot of fish recently, so tonight it's a steak night. So I'm going to cook steak garni with some flat mushrooms, some tomatoes, some spinach, and I'm going to use some Bavette. But I'll explain more about the Bavette as we go into the recipe. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on with the garnish first. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to sort of like braise the mushrooms and tomatoes together. So basically, we're going to start with the mushrooms. So we're going to peel the mushrooms, peel the skin off. You can always keep the skin. Skin can be used for, you know, a mushroom stock, or you can chop it up and stick it in your omelets, whatever you want to do. So we just peeled the mushroom now. So we just took the skin off the outside, and we're going to place that in sort of like a roasting pot here. For the tomato, just gonna, any tomato will do, guys. Plum tomato. A tomato on the vine. This is a British plum tomato on the vine. So we're going to cut this in half, and then we're going to take out the eye. We're just going to make a little V shape, and we're just going to take out the eye there. You can see that there. And then we're just going to pop that in the same tray as the mushrooms. Again, this is a really quick dish, guys, you know, and it's all about timing. When we come to cook the steak and the spinach, you'll see where the timing comes into play. So here we have the peeled mushrooms and the half tomatoes in a tray. I'll show you that there. So all layered up like that, guys. Now in there, as always, olive oil. Just over the top of the mushrooms, just over the top of the tomatoes as well. Beautiful. Now I'm not going to add any water to this because, like I've already explained, vegetables normally have 70% water in them already, so what we want to do is cook it within its own juices, within its own water. So I'm just going to put some dried herbs on there. I've got some oregano, and you can use dried thyme, you can use dried rosemary, whatever dried herb you've got really, and a little bit over the mushrooms as well, like so. And as always, guys, salt. You season up the tomatoes there and season up the mushrooms. Job done. So once we've done that, we're just going to cover it in tin foil. Yeah, one's enough. So we'll just cover the top in tin foil like so. Nice and tight. And we're just going to pop this in the oven, guys. Oven 220, really high oven, 220 degrees, and that's probably going to take about 30 minutes. While that's cooking in the oven, then we can proceed with the bavette and the spinach. So I'm just going to pop that in the oven. Like so. And then we'll be back in 30 minutes. Right guys, we're going to start talking steak now. I mean, there's lots of cuts out there. You can go for your ribeye, you can go for your entrecôte, your sirloin, your fillet. Hopefully we'll be cooking some of that later on with my videos. But today we're cooking with Bavette. Bavette for me is an unsung hero. It's a cut that's become very on trend with chefs. But it's literally part of the diaphragm. Needs to be cooked rare. Wouldn't recommend it well done. Very chewy. Almost like eating a sole of a shoe, one would think. So I'm going to cook some Bavette tonight. So when we're cooking the Bavette, I've got this Bavette from Tom Mixon. This is USDA Bavette. It's about 28 day hung. It's wet matured, not dry matured, but equally as good as some dried matured meat out there. So we're going to start cooking the Bavette. So the first rule of thumb really for any steak is a really, really, really hot pan. You want the pan to be nuclear hot, guys. You want that steak to hit that pan and it sears straight away. You don't want it sort of like a lukewarm pan and it's boiling in its own juices. It's just not good. You won't get that caramelization of its natural sugars and you won't get that flavor. So, first and foremost, really, really hot pan, guys. We have the Bavette here. When I'm cooking at home with steak as well, you know, there's a couple of tips I want to show you. I always like a scented candle here. This helps with the smell. If you guys have got open plan kitchens, you'll understand that sometimes you don't want your house stinking of steak and fish, but I always feel lighting a scented candle helps get rid of that smell. That's a top tip for you. Another top tip is I use one of these when cooking at home. Again, once I'm going to start searing my steaks, I just place it over the top and it just stops all that fat and stuff spluttering all over your nice splashback there. So, raging hot pan, guys. Just going to season up the Bavette slightly. There's not too much salt because we'll season it at the end. So, we're going to start with a touch of olive oil. And you can see how hot that is. That's smoking away, guys. That's exactly what I want. And then we're going to put the Bavette in. Oh. I'm just going to quickly show you this beef now, guys, just to see what's happening here. And again, just like the fish, just going to show this Bavette a little bit of love, get that fat on the top of that Bavette. I'm just going to take it up to the camera there. That's what we're looking at, guys. Beautiful. If you could smell that, that smells amazing. So that's probably been cooking for about, I'd say, 5 minutes now, guys. I'm going to take this out over here and then just let it rest. Let it rest there. I'll take the thyme out and I'll take the garlic out. Right, now I'm gonna keep the fat in there because what I'm gonna cook now is the spinach. Just gonna show you a trick that we use in the restaurant, is so we don't get watery spinach. Nothing worse than watery spinach. So we're gonna use that same pan. We've got all that beef juices in there. We've got all that fat that we just put in there, all the flavour from the thyme. So what we're going to do there is we're going to take our spinach And then we're going to add our spinach directly to that pan. And it's a bit like the asparagus, guys, that we cooked the other day, you know, quick cooking, and we want to hear that noise, that searing noise. Of course, wash your spinach, guys. In fact, wash all your vegetables, to be honest with you. So, spinach in. And you just want that, again, the water to come out the spinach. And again, like the asparagus, you want that water to go back inside the spinach again, so all that flavour that's coming out, we want to get back in the asparagus. Just going to add just a touch of butter, guys. Touch of butter. And then just a little bit of salt in there. Just a little bit of salt. Okay guys, spinach done. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to I use a kitchen towel really, and then we're just going to put the spinach straight on the kitchen towel, like so. Cover it up, and then what I do is there's still a lot of heat back in that pan. I just put the pan on top. So that spinach there is going to stay nice and warm until we plate our dish. Okay guys, we're just going to take the tomatoes and mushrooms out of the oven. So, these are at about 30 minutes guys. Wow, they're looking great. I'll just show you what they're looking at. So about 30 minutes in the oven. Beautiful. Look at that. And they smell great. Smell fantastic. So we can get rid of that pan now. And that spinach, guys, is still nice and hot. It's still nice and hot. So we're going to start to dress. Oh. Right. Cutter. You don't have to use a cutter, guys, but you know. So, mushroom on top. Tomatoes. And then the bavette, guys. Just going to carve the bavette up here. Just carve it against the grain. Beautiful, nice and bit of sea salt. And there we have it, guys. Steak night, bavette with braised mushrooms, tomatoes, and sautéed spinach. I'm going to serve some chips for this. They're in the oven now, and as always, I'm going to eat this. See you later, guys. Bye.